Well, I've got a couple needs in the shop. One is a mobile stand for that miter saw over there. Another is a little bit better dust collection, and a third I want to accomplish with this project is blade storage. Got some blades right there. Oh, there's another one on the floor right there. What do you know? I've got a blade sitting right here. It's been there a while. That one's been sitting there a while. I can't remember the last time I moved that one. I've got a couple more scattered around here. So blade storage is one thing I'm going to accomplish with this as well. This is the plans for the SketchUp diagram from Ibuildit.ca. John has built a mobile miter saw station that accomplishes all my goals here. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to modify a little bit for my shop. His overall depth is 27 inches front to back, plus some front edge trimming. My panels for sides are going to have a depth of about 24 inches, maybe just a tad less. That's going to allow me to use one sheet to get two panels out of for my left and right hand side. I've got a lot of 1/4 inch plywood scraps, and that's what we're using here is 1/4 inch ply plus some dimensional pine to give it some strength. But this is going to be more than enough strength for what I'm going to be using it as. It's going to be light for something else I want. I don't know if my decrease in width is going to cut down on dust collection. I know a bigger space back here for the dust to fall into is going to be better, but this is just something I need to do for my shop. I'm using a small miter saw, so this is just wasted space. Down in the bottom, we have these two doors that fold out and have some blade storage. Real handy little design he put into this. And right here is a drawer that sits below the saw itself, so any dust that falls back into the hood, he's got a ramp back here that will fall into this bucket. He says dust collection works really good. Hopefully it works for me. I'm changing it up just a tad, but hopefully it still works for me. I've got another little view of his project that I've just dimensioned out some rough measurements for. Like I said, this is a very good design that John did, and I'm going to not necessarily improve upon it, but change it to tailor to my needs a little bit more. So this is going to solve most of my problems. One design, really good job designing it. So kudos to him on that, and we'll see how it goes for my shop. Oh, by the way, I've got the first panel set up here, just a scrap piece of 1/4 inch ply. I'm going to rip it down the middle after I cut it to 60 inches in length. That's going to be my overall height. I've got my little circular saw guide here. I'm going to cut it at 60 inches, then use a table saw to rip it in half. But that's going to be my two sides, and then I'll cut out my little L shape for my saw area. But anyway, that's my start that I've got on this, and we'll see where it goes. So I've got both sides, the back cutout, and then the blank for the top. I've clamped both sides together, good side out and bottom as well. That way this is going to be my right panel, bottom side is going to be my left panel. This is going to be the L-shaped cutout for where the saw sits. The ground is going to be that way. I'm going to use my circular saw to sneak up to this corner and then come in and sneak up to this corner, and then I'm going to use a jigsaw just to finalize the cut. But both side pieces have the same dimension as far as this cutout, so clamp them together, cut them both at the same time, and we'll see what's next. The bottom section on my L, let's not overcomplicate things here. I've got an 8-foot guide rail for my circular saw. I'm not going to use it to make this little cut. Let's just use a regular old square, speed square, and use it as a straight edge to make the cut. We got right to the corner. On both sheets, I will use my jigsaw to clean that up real quick. But use a speed square. Alright, so the base of this thing is essentially just a box frame. Just some scrap 1x material I had. My height is determined by the scraps that I have on hand. And I used the widest dimension I could to label this, to cut this out with the scraps. I think his calls for 3 or 3.5 inch right here, but I'm using what I have. These knots, I'm using some crappy wood here. These knots are going to be covered up by the back panel. You'll never see them. So I'm just going to set this in place and tack it down with some brass. I've got the back panel laid out across my sawhorses, and this is the base. This is the base we just built, and what I'm going to do is set this in here like so. I've got glue spread across the bottom, and I'm going to clamp it in place. And brad nail it from the bottom side. Always be sure to wear your safety glasses here. I'm going to switch over to some 5/8 inch brads to get this center section. I'm shooting 1 1/4 right now.